Well, a very warm welcome, a bienvenida to all our Predator Pool fans joining us from across the world. You join us for the Little Monster Women's International Open in the star-studded arena here in Gandia Palace Hotel in Spain. It's 10-ball, losers round one, and a matchup between our home hopeful Sylvia Lopez of Spain, and she takes on Shasha LIU of China, who's just come through and has unfortunately lost on table one in a 3-set thriller. My name is Gethin Davis, and joining me on the comms today, my good friend and colleague, Eric Horlifson. Eric, what do you think of today's lineup?
Hey, pleasure to be with you guys. Yeah, I mean, really tough first round match for LIU playing filler. 3-set match. She actually had a chance to win it in the second set. She missed the 6-ball to win the match. Pretty makeable one. But make LIU a pretty big favorite in this. She's coming in at a 768 Fargo against a 627 for Lopez. So we'll see how Lopez can do.
Yeah, Lopez played on the table one during her first match and had a tough opponent in the Belgian Diana Kochefa. The scoreline was a 2-0 result, but that didn't flatter Diana. Lopez played very well. We got to see a few bits of action in the background. Be interesting to see how she has worked on her break since that match.
Yeah, you can see coming in with a little less power than some of the top players.
Yeah, and we've noticed the better success of the break so far going to those with executing a bit more power in the shot, but that comes fraught with the danger of the cue ball scratching. Shasha taking on this long one.
Brand new cloth helping her out a little bit there. Day one of play here in Spain.
She just laid a cue down on the table there, Eric. Looking to move this cue ball with a lot of follow through.
Yeah, LIU is a class player. She's the youngest female world champion in history, won the world title at 16 years old. Kind of took a break from international competition for about 5 years. I think she's been involved in hayball a little bit. She's come back to the Pro Billiard Series for about 4 events now. Strongest finish was in the semifinals. But really upper echelon player in the women's game and has been for 15 years now.
Yeah, and as you alluded to, Eric, had a great chance to win her match against Pia Filler. Pia did dig deep, coming back from 1 set down, but you do feel that she will really bring through some momentum into this match.
Yeah, Filler's been on a steady improve for a couple years now. She's coming off a 2nd place finish at the last WPBA event. She won't be playing with her regular partner Josh Filler in the mixed doubles. He'll be over in London for the Mosconi Cup. I'm sure she will be involved in the mixed doubles with a different partner.
Yeah, the mixed doubles kicks off tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you return back for that. If you do want to check out who are the partnerships, do go to the ProBilliardSeries.com website, where they're all ready, put in for the first fixtures, and there are some interesting couples coming to the table tomorrow. So some of them looking to get an early warm-up in the ladies' International Open here from Little Monster.
Just wants to avoid the 9 coming back. Looks like she's just thick enough.
Yeah, she stroked that very nice, Eric.
Yeah, real textbook fundamentals. Similar to a lot of players that came up from China 15 to 20 years ago, Siming Chen, Han Yu. Oh, just excellent fundamentals.
A good experience for the local players to get to play these international stars. However, I've seen the Spanish players before in both team and individual events, and they are certainly strong players and will not be daunted by this prospect. But as I say that, Shasha Liao takes the first rack in quite convincing style, keeping Lopez in her chair, and it's winner breaks. We're playing best of 3 sets, race to 4s, and if we do get it tied at the end, we will go to a shootout. Eric?
Yeah, both players' goals at this point will be to make it back to the final 16 single elimination stage of the tournament.
Indeed, and following this match, which has had a delayed start due to the last match on table 1, following this will be the winners' qualification, and tomorrow will be losers' qualification and last 16 for this women's event. And as I mentioned, they will be putting in a little bit of the mixed Scotch doubles as well. So more action to come. However, I fear, Eric, we are going to be in for quite some more action this evening, as the referee takes just extra care over this rack. These Predator tables have been playing fantastic so far. The cloth still nice and new, nice and slidey. We have seen a few bank shots missed because of that. And we get to see Shasha's break, leading 1 rack to 0.
Cut the rack a little bit, 4-railer in the corner. Long shot on the 1. Looks like she might just have enough room to cut it in.
Yeah, and the cue ball will be tracking towards the 2 ball if she does go for this.
Four-ball obstructing her a little bit there, favoring her to the thicker side of the pot.
Yeah, looks
Nothing
like
offensive for Lopez.
I think the 9 is blocking that one, Eric.
Yeah, she can cross the 1 up the middle and try to play the cue ball behind the 5-10. A little thin. Another safe for LIU here.
Yeah, and the 3 balls at the top of the table are all very close to a cushion. It makes it a bit more difficult to hide the cue ball behind those 3, so not so many options here for Shasha. And the shot clock coming into effect there. Just calling her extension. Both players under the 30-second shot clock, allowed 1 extension per rack. Leo taking it now. Was looking to get the cue ball tight behind that 2. I don't think she's quite got that, Eric.
Yeah, first offensive chance for Lopez here. Bit of cue ball movement in the first 3 shots. Looks like the 5 passes in the bottom left. Gonna have to be a little careful of coming around 2 rails with the 4 ball blocking the path towards the 2. So we're hit it as far as the corner. And it's going to be a lot of cue ball movement now. There is a path around 3 rails back to the 3. Ideally doesn't want the cue ball running into the 5-10 off the second rail. Looks like she can play around it.
It's a thin cut, but I can see the path you're talking about, Eric. Be a great shot if she can thread it through. Ooh. Was teasing the corner pocket there as she hooked herself. I think that would suggest she has, Eric.
Yeah.
This is a tough shot.
Yeah, not the start that Lopez was looking for. Whenever you're coming in as an underdog, the first 4 games really matter. Favorites tend to get even more confident in the lead against underdogs. LIU not through this rack, but looking good to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, LIU just came down to have a look at the 5 ball. Clearly the 10 is hampering it into the bottom right pocket, so it's going to need to come down the right hand side of the 5 here. Position on the 4 key. Ooh, needed that to roll a little bit more, I feel.
Yeah, 2 rails back, even 1 rail up the right side of the table. Play okay here. Both players misjudging the speed a little bit. Again, first couple matches on these Predator Arc tables, the bed of the table will be playing a little faster. Players will start to dial into that pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the cue ball rolled through far enough for her to take the center pocket on to great success. And really only a self-inflicted error in this match so far from Sylvia. And Shasha is very much in the making of extending her lead. And off to the dream start. And Shasha LIU takes the second rack to lead by 2 racks to 0 against Sylvia Lopez Fibler of Spain. As we take a look around this wonderful Gandia Palace Hotel, about an hour south of Valencia on the Mediterranean coast in Spain, and the star-studded arena with the table 1 in the background there. Looks beautiful, Eric. The players must feel like superstars out there.
Yeah, typical European set, reminiscent of the Euro Tour setup.
Yeah, are the stars a different colour this time around? They seem to be more red this tournament.
I remember them being lighter a couple times, yeah.
I didn't know if that was for the Spanish.
Good call.
Well, winner breaks, and LIU certainly seems to have the power in her break. Leads 2 racks to 0, first set.
Four railers tracking pretty consistently down to the bottom left, but not in this time. Chance for Lopez. Ideally, she'll want the 1 to miss the 3 going up table and just play the cue ball behind the 3.
Yeah, great call, Eric. And the 1 ball took a little nudge off the 9 as well to ensure that that safety was complete. She doesn't have
congestion over on the right long rail. Yeah, for the kick here, she's in pretty tough. The right long rail's out of play. The 6, 8, 9 are not positioned ideally over on the right long rail, so there's going to be some moving in this rack.
Well, that was a fantastic
shot. Nicely judged. Yeah, coverage.
She did, Eric. And that is a great result. Had to load that cue ball up with running right-hand side to even have a chance of getting close to the 1 ball and just clip the edge. Cue ball is tracking towards that corner pocket, Eric.
Been dangerous with that corner pocket twice. It did go in this time. So ball in hand start for LIU here. Playing Pro Billiard Series rules, so early 10s do count. Looks like she's going to take a shot at it, especially considering the 8-9 being tied up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the way to do it, Eric. And blink and you'll miss her. Shasha Leo takes the early 10 ball and a 3-0 lead in this first set, putting her on the hill. And solid stuff, as you mentioned, Eric. The 8-9 was locked up there, so was sort of forced into it, but made it look easy. And not giving Sylvia Lopez a chance at turning it around at that point. Strong stuff so far, Eric, from Shasha.
Yeah, only about 15 minutes in. Full table run in the first rack. Nice swerve to a kick into a quick finish in rack number 3. It's what we'd expect from her. It was a really tough first round draw against Pia. It was a close one. 2 of the sets went to the hill.
And we do have 2 tables being streamed on Pro Billiards TV of this Little Monster Women's International Open, and on the other table is another home hopeful, Mirella Feito Sanchez, and she takes on the Dutch young gun, Jolien Schuurman. And if I do get a look later on at the scores there, I will bring an update to you, as Shasha has another successful break, Eric, and it's really working for her here.
Yeah, she's even got the break going now. 4 balls a little tied up, but pretty free position towards the 2. Possibly looking to get straight on the 4, playing the cue ball behind the 8. Only real offensive chance for Lopez so far has been that one opener she had on the 1. Just got a little out of position on the 2 and overran the position on the 3. She's going to have to come with some good play to match LIU in this match.
Oh, and she's played that very nice, Eric. Not only did she freeze the cue ball, she also played the 4 against the 7 to take some speed out of it and rolled it tight up against the 10. There is perhaps a 1 rail escape, but it looks like she's electing a two-rail escape and calling this corner pocket where she's taking the shot from.
Yeah, tough to judge these two rail kicks on new cloth. What a hit.
Wow. And is the 9 coming
Wow.
to... Ooh, I don't think so.
Yeah, left the window. That was a great hit, though. Did all she could there.
Yeah, these players make them two rail escapes look so easy, but they're not at all.
Didn't want to contact the 9, and she's ended up funny on the 5. Be a save here from LIU.
Yeah.
She can cut the 5 over to the left long rail and possibly hide the cue ball behind the 9-10. She'd like to go behind the 6, but she'd have to draw it a little bit. Might be able to get over just enough to the right. Easiest safe will be behind the 6.
I think she just took her extension there. Yeah, this is tricky, Eric.
The thing is, you never want to draw a safe if you can avoid it, and it looks like she might have to kind of half stun it or draw it over towards the 6, but it's just so much less cue ball movement. I think she will try to get around that area. And that's exactly why it's hard to control both balls when you're drawing like that, or even one of them. And no rail here, so chance for Lopez.
Yeah, it took a bit of the speed out of the cue ball with that stun you were referring to. And the cue ball just didn't roll far enough. And this will be the opportunity Sylvia was looking for.
She gets up quick, gets up pretty confidently. Yeah, can tell she's a confident player. Got a little straight here, so taking a little extra second, but
just giving
reminds
herself
me of a little. Go ahead, Gethin, sorry.
I was just saying she's just given herself a little to do on this 8 ball here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it passes the 10. Guess it does. Was able to hit it with a lot less speed. Good out here from Lopez. As you mentioned before, she'll be looking for ways to generate a little more power on the break. Kind of surprising that she's not able to hit it with more power, because I can see how she strokes during the game. Definitely capable of producing it.
Yeah, I have to agree. The amount of draw she generated on her second shot of her break there was formidable. And if she can convert that into the break as well, you've got to feel that there's going to be more chances of balls dropping. But this could be the turning point she's been looking for. Win a break, so she will get to break off now and maybe pull another one back against Shasha. Taking a little drink of her water there. I do like the 3-set format, Eric. It does keep us on the edge of our seats a little bit more, and I do see that players do not seem to let their head down even at a 3-0 scoreline. They know how quickly they can run 4 racks, so this set's certainly not over yet.
Yeah, always something exciting for the viewers. A lot of pressure on the players in every game. A little more power that time. Cut the break. Got the 1. She'll be able to open it with a safe here. Side pockets on these arc tables play pretty small.
Yeah, she's taken your advice there, Eric, and played a great safety. Maybe the one cushion escape is on, but it's always good to lock the cue ball that close to an object ball, especially the way that these players can now jump the cue ball.
Contact. 8-ball might come to her rescue. It has. Close jump for Lopez now, and it's kind of stretching out into the middle of the table. Don't believe the jump's going to be an option here.
Yeah, that was a good escape from Shasha, and rewarded with her own safety. And this is not the easiest of crossbank. Oh, but made to look easy, Eric. Whoa, what a shot.
Even has an angle to break out the 5 now. Going to be a little tough to develop position towards the 4. I think she will take a shot at opening it up, see what develops. Just hit it with some speed. Just chose to avoid it. Doesn't pocket anywhere, but still has an angle to go into it.
She did get into it, Eric, but a little bit thicker and on the wrong side than she hoped.
Yeah, we've all done that many times when you're breaking into a ball and you're trying to play onto the same ball you're breaking into. It can just not really control that ball as well sometimes. Tough roll there, though.
Oh,
They missed the
three-rail escape. Yeah, and that's a critical point to give away, ball in hand. Another stroke of misfortune for Sylvia. It happened earlier in this set 2 when she overrun the cue ball into the jaws of the pocket.
Crossing the angle here, but plenty of open space around the middle of the table.
Very nice pace indeed.
Look for a small angle on the 8 here, right around where she was placing her tip. Ideally just stunning up the left side of the table from the 8 to the 9. That's perfect. LIU's played a good set. A little tricky mentally coming off a loss too. She's done well here.
And as you said at the beginning of the match, she does have a very good stroke and good control of the cue ball. She just overrun a little bit there, but you do fancy her for this 9 ball.
Yeah, see if she decides to go all the way around. There is a path, 3 rails back towards the right side of the table. Might have overhit this as well.
Yeah.
She's right in between here. Decision time for LIU now. Lots of shots available. I think I'd rule out playing the side pocket. Besides just playing a little too tight. She had a look at it. Playing it directly in the side will create some natural distance, but I don't like the percentages on pocketing it.
I haven't heard her call a pocket yet either, Eric.
Looks like she's just going to back off, play this 10 to the middle of the short rail. Oh, cut it in for the win. Cue ball. It's good. Wow.
Well, Eric, I didn't expect her to take that cut on. However, she did, and she made it successfully, and more importantly, she avoided the scratch in the corner pocket as Shasha takes our opening set by 4 racks to 1 against the Spanish Sylvia Lopez. And Eric and I will just take a quick break while the players do, and we'll be right back for the start of the second set. Please do not go away. Well, a welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second set of this losers round 1 in the Little Monster Women's International Open. Shasha took the first set by 4 racks to 1 in quite convincing style, and is now getting us underway for the second set. My name is Gethin Davis, and I am joined here on the comms with my good friend and colleague Eric Hallefson, as we may have just seen an unlikely dry break from Shasha, Eric.
Yeah, nothing down this time. Nothing on the 1 for Lopez. Best case, she might have a bank, but looks like the 8 is blocking a good part of the 1 here.
Yeah, it does look quite tricky.
Tough to play safe. You'd want to cut the cue ball to, or the 1 ball to the right, and the 9's kind of in the path of the 1 freeing up. Tough spot here, so she's just going to push away. I believe she'll get it back. You could try to play the cue ball behind the 8. Not much risk in it, so I think she actually will take this.
Well, she made a rail, even though she played that very gently, so a legal shot. Looks like she's given Sylvia a good look at this and may find herself in a tricky spot.
Yeah, might have just left the right edge of the 1 here. The cue ball will definitely be running into the 9. I think she might have to kick at this, Gethin. Maybe bank the 1 across, but it's playing dangerously towards the top left. That's a good shot, just containing.
Yeah, just containing. I do feel that Sylvia is going to put her in an even trickier spot. Has that cue ball just leaked again in the same fashion? Shasha's not giving much away. Yeah, I think you're right, Eric, it has.
Those are the little plays that you really have to execute well against world-class players.
Yeah,
Still not in trouble yet in this track.
No, I did feel that Sylvia had 2 great opportunities there to really lock LIU up, but maybe she'll get the chance now. Looks like she's called the combination onto the 2, missed it. Has she been lucky?
Yeah, nothing offensive for LIU. She can play the cue ball back near the 10 and use the 4-7 as blockers. Good shot. So as you were saying, a couple shots later, Lopez finding herself in a bad spot now. Just could have took a little more advantage in the first couple innings of the table.
Yeah, indeed. And it looks like Sylvia's looking at the 2 rail escape. We've seen her use this to great effect already, but this time quite a distance away from the cue ball. Was a tough spot and has given Shasha LIU of China ball in hand, and Sylvia will want to get off to the best of starts here, and this isn't it so far.
Yeah, only saving grace here is the 8's block the top left for the 5. If LIU gets the cue ball over to the right side of the table, which it pretty much needs to be to pocket the 4 anyways, there is a small short side position on the 5 in the top right.
Yeah, she was just looking to drop up to play the 3 in the center there, because the 4 will need to go in the same pocket where the 2 just went. And, well, from this camera angle, Eric, there may be the thinnest of gaps for that 5 past the 8, and that would be a gift if so.
Yeah, I was having a second look at it. It is possible that it passes.
It does look rather tight, and she may have finished quite straight on this 4, so may have to just run through to a long pot on the 5.
She has the draw option. I think she'll take it here. Straight back to where she's standing and out.
Oh, good call, Eric. Yep. Able to really drive through the cue ball. Now, this does look very, very tight.
Yeah, just wasn't much room on the short side of the 5, so favoring the bigger position area here. Just has to target the 5 well. Nice shot. Open table play now for LIU. Look for her to be one of the real contenders this week. Jasmine Ocean also in the tournament. Seo Soa competing this week. Han Yu, Che Yu Cho amongst the big favorites.
I was going to say, Eric, that you fancied that the match she just played could have been a final. The quality of both them players, Pia and Shasha. And there are a few other names in there that may creep through. We did see a good performance from Kelly Fisher also. But certainly Yasmin Ushan always in contention too. So some real talent here at the Little Monster Women's International Open.
Yeah, Kelly coming off a victory at the World Hayball Championships and won the last WPBA event. So she's finding her form that she's found throughout her whole career. It's a little quieter in the past year than she has been previously, but looks like she's back in stroke. She beat a good player in the first round, 4-0, 4-0. One of the better players in the tournament from China, Zhang Muyan. Switching hands here for LIU.
Yeah, that's very nice. Playing left-handed as a right-hander. Certainly showing her confidence. And again, as we saw in the first set, Eric, Shasha straight out the blocks, taking the first 2. And really looking to put this match to bed early. I'm sure Sylvia has something to say about that. The winner of this match will play tomorrow against the French player Do Va. And after this match, we will be into the winners qualification on both this table and our TV table 1. Shasha Liu to break. She is leading 1-0.
Cut break again. One ball's got a chance to go. It does. She's got a shot on the 2. Long distance here. Looks like she's pretty straight, so I think she's going to be forced to draw it, but doesn't need to draw it very much. Just needs to stay solid with the cueing here.
She got a very good spread on the balls there, Eric, as well.
Yeah, after the 2's down, the rack lies very nice. Powered up into it. Didn't want to play a kind of half-speed draw. Perfectly targeted. She's looking good to take another decent lead here in the second set.
She's certainly
Are we
keeping
forced to be a
Sylvia.
little... Go ahead, sorry.
She's certainly keeping Sylvia in the chair here, and she's making this pattern look rather simple, but these shots are very delicate.
Yeah, just wanted to get some angle on the 5. Looked like she might be trapped into being a little straight at first, but found a way to create good natural draw angle back to the 6 here. It's good to see her back on the Pro Billiard Series, and it's good to see her back on the international scene. Really one of the very best players to ever play the game on the women's side. I mean, imagine winning the World Championships at 16, Gethin. It's just such an amazing accomplishment.
Phenomenal, phenomenal, and still consistently delivering as well. Just goes to show how well our international players and how well Pool is traveling internationally. And that is a testament to the amount of prize money we get in these tournaments. We have our sponsors over in China, such as Box Billiards and Yalin, all doing wonders for the sport out in Asia. And we get to see the cream of the crop at events such as this. And we may even get to see quite a few of them in the Scotch doubles that kicks off tomorrow. And she's played that very nicely, Eric. Finished straight on the 9.
Yeah, another textbook run out from LIU here. First break-in run of the match.
Indeed, and Shasha LIU with our eagle-eyed co-commentator Eric with the first break and run, and very timely in the second set, and looking to really assert her dominance following her 4-1 success in the first set. And Sylvia sat in her chair there, can't really do too much sat there, I'm afraid, Eric.
Yeah, hasn't really had any good offensive starters. A couple small mistakes in the safe department, a couple tough kicks that she wasn't able to execute perfectly. Definitely hasn't played bad. It's really just LIU doing what she normally does and getting advantages in most of the racks.
I'm sure with this being a Spanish event, there's a lot of home support for Sylvia egging her on. Again, great experience to play Shasha.
Ball slides in. Looks like she's going to go with the cut break pretty purposely. It's a break that's worked over the course of the tournament. Need good power to make sure you don't cut it too thin. But she's got it dialed in pretty decently at this point. Look at this. This is an aggressive try, Gethin. Long jump here.
Indeed.
Tough shot. That Predator air rush cue can give you some overconfidence sometimes. I'm just kidding. Maybe she might make it next time, but thought that was a good percentage shot for her.
Yeah, it just looked like she clipped the top of the 7 quite thinly, so was nearly over the object ball. Sylvia, with ball in hand, really looking to get her teeth into something now. And as you alluded to, Eric. Not really done too much wrong apart from put herself in a spot of bother on a couple of occasions, and dare I say, maybe not played the best of safeties when she's had the opportunity to, and there she's just taken a nudge on the 10, and it stopped the cue ball from running up higher for this 3. Oh. Went for the thin cut and has left the 3 in the jaws of the pocket. Is there a gap through the 8 and the 4?
Looks like there barely is. Might have to play the smallest of swerves here. At that point, I think she'd favor a jump, but gotta be careful not to swerve the cue ball in the pocket here. Nicely played.
Very nicely played indeed, and has, well, looks like there is a small gap between the 9 and the corner pocket to swing round 2 rails if she decides to. Well, she played it very well in avoiding the 9 ball. Maybe has overrun this slightly or underrun it, depending on which corner pocket she was going for. Dare I say it's overrun. Left herself a tricky shot on the 5 here, but you feel if she makes this 5 and gets anywhere decent for the 7, that she would take this opportunity.
Yeah, see if she gets aggressive here and tries to pocket the 5 in the bottom right and come around 3 rails for the 7 in the side. There's other shots. That'll be the one that plays perfect if she's able to execute it well. Oh, it's totally backed off. Decently high percentage save. Good coverage with the 10 now.
And using these tight arc centre pockets to great effect there. There was a threat that that 5 ball would have dropped, and that would have given Sylvia the chance of putting Shasha back into play from this position. However, it rattled both jaws and is sat there in a tempting position, but there's no way that Sylvia can snap at it easily.
Yeah, I think she'll favor 2 rails here. The 1 rail could lead into a scratch. 2 rails, the player's safe with that. Good contact. Not going to turn out good, though. Thin one for LIU, but she'll be happy with this chance.
Yeah, Sylvia showing us her 2 rail escapes are on point, but just not getting fortunate with the leaves.
Oh, she's overcut it. So had a chance to take a commanding lead in the second set. Turn over to LOPEZ here.
Well, we haven't seen many of them so far, Eric, from Shasha. How timely will that be for Sylvia?
Nice play there, opening up a little more space around the 8. Ideally, she'll want the cue ball to be drawing on the left side of the table here. I believe it barely is, but she's going follow. It's going to take a lot of speed. Nice shot.
Very nice. Coming on the line of the corner pocket, but played it at great speed. It is quite close to the rail, which increases the difficulty of this shot. Will she be running into this 9 ball? Oh, she is, Eric.
Not in a good way either.
No. I did feel that was going to be a probability. And I'm always a bit cautious, if that is the case, to go in with a bit more venom. You can always look a bit stupid if you do miss it, though. She's looking to get that cue ball up behind the 10.
Not there. Little thin for LIU, but she can slow the cue ball down with draw. Does seem like the tables are playing a little bit on the faster side. Might even come underneath it just because it feels like it's hard to hold on the shorter side of it.
That is a great call, Eric. A lot of players would have fallen foul there. That was a good vision to come this side of the 10. It's a tricky shot, but these Predator Arc tables with the new fresh cloth. Well, Eric, she hit that with venom and takes the third rack in the second set and puts herself on the hill for the match, giving Sylvia everything needing now to do. And, well, coming fresh from table 1, even from a loss, Shasha Liu played very, very well against Pia Phil, even taking the first set. Looks to have brought that form with her to the table here and has shut Sylvia out to a point. But Sylvia has had a few chances, not taking them. But I do believe the score accurately reflects the balance of play in this match. And now it's do or die for Sylvia. Needs to get to the table, Eric.
Yeah, as you were saying, you know, playing these world-class players, you really have to take advantage of every chance you have. And it's not like she's made any really glaring errors, but just, for example, in rack number 3 there, just not getting real good on the 3 ball and ending up missing it. Those are the kind of mistakes that you just have to really eliminate to beat a player like LIU. Hasn't quite happened for Lopez in this match. Cut break again. She's getting good action off the balls even though she's cutting it. She's been about 30 to 40% on the break. It's really tough to get anywhere between 60 and 7. Oh, she did make one. I didn't see one go in there. Okay. So yeah, look for her to stick with that break going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you, Eric. She's been getting good power and keeping good cue ball and making balls. Ooh. Well, I dare to open my mouth, Eric, and that's what happens.
Yeah, it's just another thing that can happen on brand new fresh cloth. You catch a little bit of overdraw. Bed of the table plays a little faster than normal. Draws catch a little more. Misjudging it slightly there. Lopez is going to have a bit of an issue coming back for the 5 here.
Ooh. She kept the cue ball on a sixpence there. I didn't think she'd hit that hard enough, but has, and has left a decent angle to come in and out of the short rail here. And she avoided, oh, she's threaded through the gap nicely, Eric.
Perfect play. No contact with any other balls. Managing 15 feet of cue ball movement very well there.
Just wanted to point out, we were a little late starting this match, but we already have the fixtures for the next match on this table following this game, and it will be a very interesting matchup. I'd like to see your view, Eric, between Pia Filler and Sophia Mast of the USA. So we're going to be treated to more action coming up.
Yeah, Mass coming in as pretty much the favorite, along with Savannah Easton and a couple other players in the World Junior Championships. I believe the first round of that is being played today, and it'll be going all week long.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing the juniors. Some of the young blood coming through is not only impressive, but daunting for some of the more seasoned pros out there. They are fearless.
Yeah, we have Felix Vogel in the boys event. He's a threat to win and has won major international men's tournaments. So look for him to be very powerful in the boys division. 2 divisions for boys, under 17 and under 19. Girls all playing in one under 19 division. Good out from Lopez here. Keeping herself in the match.
Very nicely done. She just rests her hand on the table there. Looks a little bit disheveled, but as we've seen in previous matches, there is not a lot of wiggle room in these sets, and momentum can shift with the winner break format. So, an important win for Sylvia in a must-win situation. And as you were discussing, Eric, we have got some great formats coming up with the Junior World event, but also we have the Little Monsters mixed doubles event, Scotch doubles, and I've already been having a sneak preview to some of the lineups for that. I think we're going to be in for some fun and magic for that event. So please do stay tuned to the Pro Billiards TV channel. And if you want to keep updated with fixtures of your favourite players and results, please do visit probilliardseries.com. Live scores and links to these streams. As Sylvia didn't get the best of contacts off the break there.
Well, that's what can happen when you start cutting the break and not hitting it with a lot of power. I mean, Lopez is kind of looking over at the ref there, but she caught it real thin and didn't hit it with much power. That's not really the ref's fault. She can hit it with more power, but we've just seen her try to go with something a little more controlled a couple times. I wouldn't suggest it, really. But yeah, we're going to have a big safe rack here. 4 balls tied up right near the racking area.
Well, the
For
one
some
ball
3
took a
foul
little...
possibilities.
Yeah, the one ball took a little nick of the 8 there. Otherwise, that one ball could have come into the open area there. And Sylvia looking to return the favour, and I think she has done that, Eric.
Yeah, probably going to see at least 5 innings of safe here, unless the one's kicked into the 4-ball stack.
You mentioned there the 3 foul rule. It's not something we see very often in matches, but when it has been put to effect, it can be devastating to the opponent. So a little battle of safeties here, and maybe one... Ooh. Is there a
Caught a
gap?
window between 6 balls. There is. I don't know if she has the window to... I don't know if she has the window to pocket it, but can definitely see the full ball.
Oh, just needed it to slip past the 3. It hasn't. I don't think she can see the potting angle. Certainly doesn't look like it from there. Maybe a bank. Nope. Only an edge, Eric.
Yeah, she can send the cue ball up to the top end of the table. One's going to play into the 7. Maybe bank it across. Try to hold it near the stack. Good shot.
Yeah, I like that.
Players are generally going to focus on getting the cue ball near the stack here. Ideally with some distance. Lopez will be a favorite to hit this one, but has to be careful. There's one foul. I believe she has to continue with the 3 foul strategy here.
I have to agree with you, Eric, with the group of balls in the rack there.
She's looking at playing the 1 back into the 4-ball stack and lining the cue ball up with the 5. Maybe the 6-10 will work too with the cue ball.
Ooh. I actually thought
Gonna
she
lead a
hit
hit
that a
there.
little. Yeah, I thought she hit that a bit too hard, Eric, but still, looks like she's got a complete cover on the 1 ball, but an easier 1 cushion escape here for Sylvia. Oh!
Oh, that's unlucky. And
That
she'll be
is-
in danger now.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. She caught it very thin, and the cue ball, without hesitation, found its way into the center pocket, giving ball in hand. And Shasha LIU has put Sylvia on 2 fouls here and will be looking to secure a 3rd. Just called the extension, Eric. Important shot. She's on the hill. This would be a match-winning shot.
Yeah, I believe she's looking at drawing the cue ball back into the 3. That's going to take that likely will take away both long rails. Just making sure the 1's banking around the 8 here. One ran into the 8, so Lopez is going to have a good chance, especially if she has the right long rail. Pretty much be a 100% hit. Just has to avoid going in off like she did last time, which is unlikely. Has to kick over to the tougher rail. Got it.
Did. And I think has played it in such a way. Oh, I think the little look on Sylvia's face there was that she's left an edge. But it looked forever and a day that she got good cover, and that is the end of that 3 foul attempt of play.
Yeah, just for players new to the game, they have to be in succession. It's not a total of fouls during the rack. They have to be in 3 successive turns. Shot there from LIU.
And with this cluster here, and in the shot that Shasha's played there, she may continue to persist with the 3 foul. Sylvia needs to be a bit careful with the clock here. Has still got her extension remaining and has called it. You do find once the extensions are called in a safety battle, the shot clock can start to come into play.
Oh, there comes the breakout of the 5-ball stack, and the whole game changes now. She's even lined up the 3-10. So good chance for LIU here.
Yeah, that's a very good spot, Eric. And it looked like she played a jump bank into the 1 ball, missed it completely, and opened up that cluster. Ball in hand to Shasha here, Eric, and as you alluded to, good spread of the balls, and the 3 ball has finished in a lovely position next to the 10. And with the rules as you explained earlier, you can call an early 10 ball for the win.
Yeah, she'll be going after it here, no doubt. It's lined up well. Just has to get a decent line with the cue ball. Just underneath it slightly, but still a big favorite here.
Well, Eric, Shasha LIU takes the combination shot on the 10 ball to take this 5th rack and 2nd set to win by 2-0 against the Spanish Sylvia LOPEZ Fibler, and she progresses through to the last 16. Next here on this TV table will be the winners qualification match between Pia Filler and the US Sophia Must. So please stay glued, and if you want to keep up to date with the scores, please do visit ProBilliardSeries.com's website. My name's Gethin Davis. I've been joined in the commentating box by my good colleague Eric Horlison. Thank you ever so much, and please do stay tuned for the next match.
Talk to you guys soon.